Frieren is the GOAT, one of the best anime to come out in the last 20 years, blah blah blah. If you want to see me glaze Frieren and the reasons why, check out my last video on the series. It still holds up. But with a series as popular as Frieren, it gets you wondering, where did this story come from? More importantly, who did this story come from? Shit's really keeping me up at night. It is common knowledge in the anime community that Frieren, the manga, is brought to us by Illustrator Tsukasa Abe and the author and creator Kanuhito Yamada, with many people praising Frieren as another amazing manga written by a woman. Yeah, that may not be true. The reality of the matter is that no one knows the face or sex of Yamada, or even Abe for that matter. And this isn't a slight at women mangaka. Women write some banger stories across all anime and manga. The point of this video is to explore the truth of the author's identity for funs and giggles. It really doesn't matter either way. We love everyone here. And also tell you guys the story of how this amazing anime came to be. This is the story of Kanuhito Yamada and Tsukasa Abe and everything we currently know about them. Let's explore the mystery duo that brought us Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Sponsored by me. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out small creators like me, and it's completely free. But if you need more convincing, keep watching. I'll improve myself. This little elf has taken over my life as I cannot stop buying merch. And while I'm still waiting for the anime to explain to me more of her backstory, her creation outside the story has piqued my interest as well. I really can't sleep. So let's start at the beginning. And hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm being told by our research team that we have no current information on Yamada's origins. Is that really what the teleprompter says? Or are we really, that's the line we wrote in the script? Okay. All right. It's never happened before. Okay, so how far back can we take this? The furthest we can trace back is their two manga before Frieren called Nanashi wa Itai Dare Desho and Bochi Hakase to Robot Shoujo no Zetsubo Teki Utopia, or the English title, Lonely Professor and Robot Girls Despair Like Utopia. Yeah, it's a mouthful. Not much to discuss about these series. They were 27 and 33 chapters respectively, and I hadn't even heard of them until I started doing research for this video, so read them if you want, or can for that matter. But in 2017, after the Robot Utopia manga, I refuse to say the full thing again, wrapped up, Yamada needed a new idea. Enter Katsuma Ogura, Yamada's editor and the editor of other manga like Komi Can Communicate. Well, you see, Ogura actually liked the Robot Utopia manga, with some translation of interviews saying that he called it a masterpiece that didn't sell well. And, well, it didn't. Again, have any of you heard of this manga before this video? Comment below if you have. Ogura suggested that it was because of the art, basically telling Yamada, if you want a hit, you're gonna have to get an illustrator. What do you think? I think we need to find an illustrator. Yamada agreed and thus went back to the drawing board of one-shots. If you don't know what a one-shot is, it's basically a self-contained one-chapter manga story that may or may not turn into a full multi-chapter manga. It depends on the success and author's intentions. We're getting there. And with their mind clear and this new approach to their career, Yamada went on a 6-month dry spell. Meaning, for 6 whole months, Yamada was simply scrapping ideas or not drawing altogether. Now, there was no report of this, but we all know that making manga is not easy. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and I can assume that Yamada was not happy about their last work not selling well. As a writer and YouTuber myself, it's really hard to keep going when something you put a lot of work into, be that a short film or a YouTube video, doesn't get the recognition you think it deserves. Like and subscribe, please. But if you've created anything, you know that some of your best work will come from those times of despair. Ogura suggested to Yamada to write a one-shot gag comedy manga based on their debut work, The Heroic Demon King. I couldn't find out if this was Yamada's debut one-shot as a mangaka or Ogura's debut one-shot as an editor. To be honest, I couldn't find the manga in question at all, so if you know more, again, comment below. Either way, Yamada was supposed to deliver a comedy because Ogura felt that would be the easiest genre for Yamada to write. After all, they've done it before. Yeah. Yamada delivered Frieren Chapter 1. For anime onlys, that's the first episode of Frieren, and I don't think I have to explain to you how far from a comedy that is, and Ogura was very surprised, to say the least. But it was still Frieren Chapter 1. The first episode and first chapter that would go on to send a large emotional shockwave through the anime and manga community. Ogura obviously saw the promise in that and got to work. Now it was time to keep his promise of finding an illustrator for this story. Enter Tsukasa Abe. Abe's artwork seems like it was tailor-made for Frieren's story, as these simple yet very telling designs are so in character for this emotional story filled with a main cast that looks emotionless. For example, I don't think it's an accident that Frieren's character colors are white. White like a blank canvas, contrasting the very defined colors of the rest of her OG party. It's because even though Frieren is the oldest, she's taking way longer to find herself than the rest of the party. Frieren is a character who is learning more about herself after the story has already concluded. So to have a pale basic color like white that can change very easily be her main color scheme fits. I may be looking too deeply into this, but in Tsukasa Abe sensei we trust. This is the person who designed Frieren and Fern after all, as these two character designs alone are currently inspiring the next generation of artists. I know you've seen the Frieren chin meme. Suck it, AI. After seeing the character artwork, which at the time would just be Frieren, Himmel, Heiter, and Aizen, Yamada was stated to have said, Frieren has the aura of humanity, and the designs were approved. Ogura knew they had something, and the rest is history. Ogura does state that Yamada and Abe originally thought that the first chapter of Frieren was a one-and-done story, and for a while, it was. I even read it when it came out thinking, solid stuff. But Ogura pushed for a serialization, and it seems Yamada indeed had more story to tell, and I'm happy they did, because we got Fern's pouting face, my boy Stark, Ubel's armpit, Serie's feet, and so many other great characters from this decision. In April of 2020, when the world was going through something, Yamada as the writer, Abe as the illustrator, and Ogura as the editor would officially begin the serialization of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, or Sousou no Frieren, a title that Ogura is stated to have picked out himself. A title with a double meaning that can be translated to Frieren at the Funeral, which, if you've seen the first episode and episode 8, you know what that is a reference to. The manga would go on to be highly successful, winning multiple awards even before the anime aired. 5 to be exact, with 2 of them being first place winners in the Manga Taisho and Osamu Tezuka Cultural Prize. And in 2023, as we all know too well, Frieren would receive an anime adaptation by Madhouse and take over the anime space forever. Not only did the manga go on to win 4 more awards after the anime, but the anime would make community history by dethroning FMA Brotherhood's #1 spot on both My Anime List and AniList. And the anime itself has won over 10 awards. With season 2 and a hopeful season 3, that number is only gonna go up. But you know all of this, or at least I hope you do. And I haven't forgotten the original question. Who are Yamada and Abe? Are they women? Are they men? It's so weird when you say it out loud, like, are they men? Anyway, what I just broke down to you all is everything we officially know about both Yamada and Abe, but the internet is gonna do what the internet does and do some digging. Let's lay out the evidence. We'll start with Abe. From the Frieren art book, we actually have an interview with Abe Sensei as they discuss their experience working on the project, saying multiple things like Aizen is their favorite character to draw, or how they use real people as inspiration for background character designs. And they are very serious about the characters' eyes. I get it, but it's through Abe's artwork, obviously, that we're going to find out more about their identity. And the general consensus is that Abe is female. because there's an entire video of them drawing Frieren online. And look at those hands. They seem feminine to me. Obviously, we can't be concrete on anything because Abe is the only person who can identify themselves, but until told otherwise, this seems like solid proof. Unless this guy has very delicate looking hands, which to be honest could also be the case. And this is where the Abe search stops. Again, I want to stress that this is just for fun and giggles. None of this matters at the end of the day, and people come in all different shapes and sizes. But if you think the Abe search is complicated because people are trying to pin down the sex of the illustrator based on some hands, then the Yamada search is about to overload your brain. Apparently, I wasn't the only one up at night thinking about this because my research opened up a rabbit hole of opinions and theories. Never have I seen so many good points leading to a solid conclusion. Let's start with the obvious, being Ogura's interview where Ogura straight up says he when referring to Yamada. There it is. Case solved. Frieren is written by a man. Is what I would say if pen names didn't exist. Many fans have pointed out that Kanohito is a male Japanese name, but if you've seen anime like Monk the Girl Nozaki-kun, you know that mangaka and authors in general don't use their real names when being credited. And the manga industry specifically has a history of female authors using more male-sounding names, and even sometimes hiding the fact that there are women altogether to avoid misogyny and be taken more seriously. Ironically, this notoriously happened to the author of Fullmetal Alchemist, Hiromu Awakawa, whose real name is actually Hiromi, but she changed it to sound more masculine and represented herself as this funny little cow to avoid the misogyny of the industry. And before you start, yeah, this is a real thing, with women mangaka coming out and saying that people in the industry, sometimes even their own editors, coming to them and telling them to avoid certain themes or include certain themes in their stories because they are women. If you're interested in that topic, a friend of the channel, Colleen, has a whole video breaking down those interviews, link in the description. But who's to say Yamada isn't doing the exact same thing to avoid unnecessary drama? And then there's the issue of translation. See, Japanese and English are not directly transferable, so Ogura could have never said he at all. But then you Google Kanohito Yamada, and a picture of this lady shows up. And, spoiler alert, there is no proof that this is Kanohito Yamada. All official sources say that this is just a picture of some random lady. The only thing we have to identify for certain is their avatar, a piece of paper with a mustache. There are talks of people having met Yamada at conventions for their work before Frieren, stating that Yamada is a man, but again, those two manga are so obscure that finding information on a convention meetup is ancient history at this point. So I'm gonna leave it up to you if you want to believe the fans on Reddit. And that's everything we possibly know about the duo that created Frieren. So you let me know what you think in the comments below. But I would be really bad at this if I made a whole video about the creators of Frieren and didn't bring up the actual important topic, that being the current hiatus. In October of 2025, it was announced that the Frieren manga was going to go on hiatus, and as of the recording of this video, that being March 2026, this is still the case. The alarming thing about this is that the reasoning for this is in concern for the health of both Yamada and Abe. Mangaka overworking themselves, unfortunately, is nothing new. But with the death of the creator of Berserk, Kentaro Miura, in 2021, the community has never been more alarmed that the work schedules of our favorite creators isn't sustainable. And with the Frieren anime, after season 1 estimated to only have another 26 episode run before they catch up to the manga, this is why season 2 is only 10 episodes. The future of the series as a whole is in a very unknown place. And I can only imagine the pressure that puts on our duo because they know they are writing one of the most successful manga/anime of the generation. And who wants to disappoint that many fans? Especially because I just finished breaking down everything these two went through to make this series a hit. I'm not going to claim that I know the reason why Yamada and Abe picked up the pen, but I am going to ask fans to be understanding during this unknown time. There are several series that have been on hiatus for years, and that's no coincidence. The manga industry is brutal, but I think that's why I felt the need to make this video. What was really keeping me up at night? Man, woman, he, she, they, them, doesn't matter. But looking into the identity of the creators and their story reminds fans that they're more than just creators. They're people. People with their own passions, motivations, private identities, and lives outside of the stories they write and the illustrations they draw. We don't need them to come out and identify themselves. Let's all just keep playing detective online. I sure had fun doing it. What we need is for them to take care of themselves, not just for the little elf we all love, but for the genuine kindness and concern for our fellow man. I'm RJ Lane, and this has been On the Rise.